Bleach is such a funny show. You see, I'm in the middle of rewatching it, and I can't stop thinking about how insane the beginning of this story is for the main character, Ichigo Kurosaki. You see, despite being a part of the big three, Ichigo is a much different protagonist from Luffy or Naruto. He doesn't have big dreams that will take him the rest of the series to complete. He's literally just a teenager that at the end of the day wants to hang out with his friends and go home and play PlayStation. He is very much the J. Cole of the big three, and I want to be very clear, dear audience, there is nothing wrong with being J. Cole. As of now, J. Cole is still casually strolling the beach, sniffing flowers that he has freshly plucked from a garden that he grew himself. Not a care in the world. He sees the chaos that those other two got into, and he's just like, I just want to make music. Whatever, this is something else. I'll let you guys handle that. That is Ichigo in a nutshell. Only the thing is, any hope of Ichigo living a normal life is dashed when one night a samurai ghost breaks into his house, beats him up, and then she gets her ass beat by another ghost, and then she tells Ichigo, hey, I can't beat him. You're gonna have to fight this ghost. Here, take half of my power and you'll become a soul reaper. Ichigo's like, what? You just met me. Like, no, I don't want to do that. Who are you? Get out of here. But then the ghost starts trying to eat Ichigo's sister, so he's like, you son of a bitch, fine, give me your powers. And so Ichigo becomes a soul reaper, and from then on, he's basically just Danny Phantoming all over his hometown, because apparently ghosts attack people like a lot. It's a lot. Enough ghosts to fill a Monster of the Week format for a Saturday morning cartoon. It's literally Danny Phantom. To make matters worse, the ghost that broke into his house only to immediately get her ass beat by another ghost, she is still in the world of the living and is masquerading as a high school student in Ichigo's class. Her name is Rukia, and every day she gives Ichigo his new ghost hunting mission, because apparently she wound up accidentally giving away almost all of her power to Ichigo instead of just half of it. So now Ichigo is the only thing standing in between the innocent people of Karakura Town and the evil ghosts that attack every single day. And I cannot imagine how annoyed Ichigo is. Every day he gets out of school, he's ready to play PlayStation. And every time Rukia cuts him off on his way home like, Ichigo, come quick, a hollow is attacking the hospital. And Ichigo's like, goddamn, again? So at this point, Ichigo has been fighting ghosts every single day. Mind you, his closest friends can also see ghosts, and some of them even have special powers and don't bother telling Ichigo a damn thing. Like, Ichigo knows that his friends are probably spiritually sensitive enough to see ghosts. But if he knew that the girl that has a crush on him in school can also summon tiny spirit creatures to fight for her, or that Shad has a Mexican arm that can punch ghosts, he would be so confused and concerned. He does, however, know for a fact that one of his friends, Uryu, is a Quincy, which is basically just Hawkeye and the Avengers, but for ghosts. The difference is, I fully believe Hawkeye could fight ghosts better than Uryu does. Like, Uryu runs out onto the field to get folded up immediately sometimes. It's so tragic. And as a matter of fact, the recent thing that's just happened in the story is Uryu saying, hey, you know what? I'm stronger than you, Ichigo, and to prove it, I'm gonna summon a bunch of hollows so we can see which one of us can defeat the most. And Ichigo's like, no, we are not doing that. That sounds so stupid. But Uryu doesn't listen, and a bunch of ghosts start coming through the portal that Uryu created until eventually a super mega ghost comes through the portal, and Ichigo has to dig deep and summon enough power to send it back to hell. So the day is saved, or at least that's what everybody thinks right now. You see, the super mega ghost that came through the portal to hell was called a Menos Grande, and it's a pretty big deal for one of them to go stomping around in the human world. So Uryu's dumbass pissing contest with Ichigo caused enough of a disturbance for two Soul Reapers from the Soul Society to show up and start asking questions. Which is a huge problem, because apparently Rukia giving her powers to Ichigo is actually illegal in the Soul Society. So when they get there and see that she's got no powers and is in a human body, they start bullying her, and like, they are really mean. Like, there's this red-haired crash out named Renji who also has a crush on Rukia, which is so stupid, because I don't know how many women Renji has tried to holla at. But when I'm trying to talk to a woman, the last thing that I would think to do is swing a fucking sword at her. But anyway, his captain is with him too, Byakuya Kuchiki, and he's Rukia's older brother. So yeah, they are both no nonsense, and they are bullying the hell out of Rukia. And it gets so bad that it looks like she might really die right there. And that's when suddenly Uryu shows up to stop them, so maybe everything's gonna be okay. Meanwhile, Ichigo is just chilling at home, wondering where the hell Rukia is. He's using the bathroom, and that's when he finds Kon, the badass little spirit dude that tried to steal Ichigo's body, tied to the back of his toilet. Ichigo unties Kon, and that's when he tells him that Rukia has run away, and he thinks it's because the Soul Society could be on their way to cause problems for everybody. So Ichigo hears all that, and he's like, God damn it, I thought I was finally gonna have a day off, but now you're telling me not only do I have to fight ghosts, but I have to fight samurai ghosts? That is insane. But Ichigo is a real friend, so even though it's inconvenient, he agrees to run after Rukia and tries to get the spirit pill out of Kon so he can transform. That's when Kisuke Urahara, the spirit drugstore owner, shows up out of nowhere and offers to help him transform even faster. Ichigo's like, what? seriously, who are you? Have you been standing outside of my house this whole time? How much of this situation do you understand, Kisuke? Why are you so willing to help me? And without answering any of Ichigo's questions, Kisuke helps him turn into a Soul Reaper, and Ichigo runs after Rukia. And when he finally gets to her, he sees Rukia in trouble and Uryu bleeding out on the fucking ground. He's like, yeah, that makes sense. But Ichigo is finally on the scene and meets the other two Soul Reapers. Well, my God, now I've seen it all. A filthy human is a Soul Reaper. These DEI hires are getting out of control. Okay, I don't know if that counts as racist if you're an ethereal being that just has prejudices for someone confined to the human condition, but it feels racist. Like you sound like you're dying to throw a slur out there. But forget all that. Why are you bullying my friends? Leave them alone. Watch your mouth, human. You're talking to a lieutenant and a captain of the Soul Society, so you better have some respect. Lieutenant of the... Wait a minute. Does that mean you guys are Soul Reapers? So you mean I'm not the only Soul Reaper? There are more of you somewhere? I mean, yeah, duh. Why the hell haven't any of you come down here to help me? I've been fighting ghosts every single day for the past month. Yesterday, I fought a super mega ghost called a Minos Grande. That was very stressful. I would have loved some help. That's why we're here in the first place. What the hell happened anyway? What did you do to make a Minos Grande come here? Ask this dumbass bleeding out on the ground over there. He opened a portal to hell to see how many ghosts we could catch each so he could prove he was stronger than I was. That is so stupid and incredibly unsafe. That's what I said. So wait a minute, you didn't have anything to do with that? No, and it's not here anymore. Does that mean that you defeated it? No, wait a minute. No, hang on. That can't be true. There's no way you could beat a Minos Grande. You can believe whatever you want, but again, I would like to remind you that the only two people that could have done anything about it is me and the nerd that's bleeding out on the ground over there. Seriously, is he okay? You know what? It doesn't matter who took care of the Minos Grande. You're all still guilty and will be judged by the Soul Society. Hey, shut up. I still have questions. You keep saying Soul Society. So if there are other Soul Reapers, how many of you are there? What does that matter? It matters a lot. I have not played PlayStation in a week, sir. There's this girl at school that I'm trying to be in a romance anime with, but I keep getting dragged into this battle shonen bullshit. So if someone else could be here fighting these ghosts and saving these lives, I am all for it. Well, there's 13 divisions. 13? Well, all right, you know what? If there's only 13 of you and you have to all patrol the entire world for ghosts all the time, then I get it. You might not all be able to help wherever you can. Oh, no, there's 13 divisions. So, like, each division has something like 200 Soul Reapers. All in all, there's like 3,000 of us in total. Oh, well, that changes everything. I quit. You can't just quit. You have Rukia's powers. I don't give a fuck. Then take it back. Hell, you're taking Rukia back to the Soul Society, right? I'll go with you. I'll turn in this sword, this stupid-ass kimono, and all these powers, because with great power comes more responsibility than I ever agreed to. Sorry, human, but that's not how it works. Rukia giving her powers to you was a crime, and it's one you're all gonna have to pay for. Renji's tired of talking to Ichigo, so he pulls out his sword and lunges at him. Renji cuts Ichigo's shoulder and makes Ichigo take a knee. Renji starts feeling himself like, yeah, you ain't no match for me, human, I'm the real deal, and that's when Ichigo cuts him off by swinging his sword so fast he cuts Renji's chin instantly, making him shut up. What the? How did you do that? I didn't even see you move. And that sword, why is it so big? I mean, not that that's a big deal. I mean, my sword's pretty big too. I mean, it's average. I'd say an average sword is like just the right size for a sword. I would actually hate if my sword was that big, just inconvenient. Looking at all that sword around. Yeah, that's bad. Are you okay? Hey, shut up! My sword isn't small, all right? And even if it is, it's not the size, it's what you do with it. Tell him, Rukia. Tell him my sword is fine just the way it is. I'll show you, you big sword bastard. Roar! Sabimaru! Renji rubs on his sword until it transforms into an even longer sword. Now who's got the small sword, huh? Take this! Hiya! Renji's transformed sword is too much for Ichigo to handle and he's quickly overpowered. And so Renji starts gloating again like, take that, you filthy human. Only something happens while Ichigo is battered and bruised. Suddenly, his spirit pressure explodes and he starts to feel a dramatic increase in power for seemingly no reason at all. What the? How? How are you doing that? What's going on? I don't know, but I feel great. Like I can do anything, regardless of any narrative limitations. What? Oh my God, there's no way. Could he have the power of Cap? I don't know what that means, but suddenly I feel an aggressive disregard for the power scaling implications of this situation. I know you said you're a lieutenant of the Soul Society, but right now, I feel like a general, baby. Yaw! Ichigo feels the power of Cap and explodes his spirit pressure and starts overpowering Renji, while Captain Byakuya watches on doing nothing. He just lets him get his ass whooped for a few minutes. That is until Ichigo is about to kill Renji, so Byakuya cuts Ichigo's sword from his hilt, and Ichigo's wondering what the hell that was and prepares tries to attack Byakuya, but Byakuya cuts him down in the blink of an eye, ending the power of Cap immediately. Thanks, Captain, but I could have handled that human on my own. Renji, please. You were getting folded like laundry. Had I not intervened, you would also be bleeding out on the ground. Like that guy over there. He might really be dead. That's hilarious. Hey, I didn't hear no bell. Ichigo wants to keep fighting even though he's bleeding out, so Rukia runs over and kicks his arm off of Byakuya and then calls him a lowly human. Then she turns around and says she's ready to be taken to the Soul Society. So now Ichigo and Uryu are both bleeding out in the street. And with his attack, Captain Byakuya has severed his soul sleeve, which means that even if Ichigo does survive, all his power will be lost. Renji closes the door back to the Soul Society as the 3 Soul Reapers leave. So Ichigo is in a bad situation, but just before he passes out, that's when Kisuke walks up to him and decides to help. A little while later, an unconscious Ichigo finally wakes up. What happened? Ah! Who the hell are you? Get off me! Kisuke told me to watch over you, so that is exactly what I'm doing. Why are you under the covers with me? Dude. Looks like you're finally awake. Kisuke, what is going on? Where am I? We're at my spirit drug shop, dude. I picked up you and your friend after you guys got in that fight with them samurai ghosts last night. So Uryu's okay then. That's good, but where's Rukia? She went back to the Soul Society with her friends, dude. They're probably gonna execute her or something too. Well, then I gotta go after them, because I can't let that happen. Easy, dude. You aren't ready to take on the entire Soul Society. The power of Cap can only get you so far. That red-haired guy said something about the power of Cap too. What is that? What are you guys talking about? This universe is a mysterious place. Soul Reapers, Hollows, and probably some other third thing that mixes those two together. Every now and then a phenomenon happens that coalesces in an individual tapping into extraordinary power that transcends reality, allowing them to break free from the confines of narrative limitations, dude. Suddenly things that would be impossible for the individual at their current power level becomes possible with no explanation why. That is the power of Cap. And you've been tapping into it ever since you got your powers, dude. Fascinating. So tell me how to get to the Soul Society, and I'll use the power of Cap to save Rukia. Oh, I'm sure you will, but you can't just waltz in there all willy-nilly like that. The power of Cap has its limits. It's basically like a multiplier that boosts your base power. So if your base power is still weak, there's no way you can beat a captain of the Soul Society with the power of Cap alone. Ugh. Okay, so what do I have to do to save Rukia? Pretty sure we have about 10 days before they do anything to Rukia, so that means we got 10 days to get your powers back and make you even stronger. It's a training arc, baby! So Ichigo agrees because, for real, he doesn't really have a choice. Regardless of the wacky way that they met, Rukia is his friend now, so he's gonna do whatever it takes to make sure that she's safe. So Ichigo agrees and continues life as it was. He goes to school the next day and discovers that no one at school remembers Rukia at all. And so Ichigo leaves school, and that's when Orihime walks behind him and flat out asks, hey, where is Rukia? Why is everyone acting like they don't remember her? What the hell is going on? So Ichigo has a heart-to-heart with Orihime and tells her that he doesn't know if he's strong enough to pull this off, and Orihime tells Ichigo that she believes in him, so he should believe in himself. Yeah, not that good of a pep talk, but considering the circumstances, Ichigo thinks it's really sweet, and runs off to begin his training with Kisuke. So Ichigo and Kisuke begin Ichigo's training in the underground area beneath the spirit drugstore. Ichigo says he's ready for the first lesson of training, and that's when Kisuke brings out Ururu, the little girl that works at the ghost drugstore with Kisuke. She's wearing boxing equipment, and Kisuke tells Ichigo, hey, your first lesson is to punch this sweet little girl. I don't understand. You want me to fight a child? You don't have to fight her, dude. I just want you to land one punch on her, that's all. How is this training? I don't want to hit a little girl, or any woman for that matter. First of all, that's sexist, dude. We subscribe to the Yusuke Urameshi school of ass whoopings around here. Doesn't matter if it's a man, woman, or a baby. If they need to get knocked out, we knock them the fuck out. Also, if you don't fight back, Ururu might just knock your chin clean off your face. Wait, what did you say? Ow! Ururu lays one into Ichigo and launches his bitch ass back like 20 feet. What was that? Who is this? Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you, dude. Ururu is strong enough to take down a full-fledged Soul Reaper. What? Yeah, so you gotta fight back, dude. Don't worry. You don't have to win. You just have to land a punch. So Ichigo starts fighting back, and after a little while, he accidentally cuts Ururu's shin, and she kicks the shit out of him, sending him flying into a wall behind him. Don't worry, sexy. I got you. Ugh, get off me. Let me try again, Kisuke. I think I can get her this time. No need, dude. That's good enough for now. You passed the first lesson. Now on to lesson number 2. We gotta get you your powers back, dude. To do that, you'll need to become a Soul Reaper again. So I'm gonna sever your soul chain, which will start the process of you becoming a Hollow. How does that help me become a Soul Reaper again? The idea is you either become a Soul Reaper or you become a Hollow. But wait a minute, how would I do that though? Is it like going Super Saiyan or something? What am I, Ah! Before Ichigo can finish his question, they throw him into the same hole that Bane threw Batman in The Dark Knight Rises, and tie his arms behind his back and tell him that he has to climb up in 72 hours before his chain of fate is eaten and he becomes a hollow. So for almost 3 days, Ichigo is stuck in a hole with his hands tied behind his back with the increasing danger of becoming a mindless ghost that eats people. While Ichigo is panicking, his time is almost up and he begins turning into a hollow. There, when his mind is wasting away, that's when he goes deep into his subconscious and meets the manifestation of his sword, Zangetsu, who gives him a bunch of riddles unprovoked. Like, in the middle of this dire situation, Zangetsu is asking Ichigo what gets wetter as it dries. And somehow, all the riddles turn out to be the advice that he needs to find his spirit ribbon to get his powers back and transform into a Soul Reaper again. So Ichigo emerges from the hole wearing a hollow mask, showing that the transformation was nearly complete. All right, good job, dude. I knew you could. Oh, you crazy old bitch. That wasn't training. You just threw me in a hole and waited for me to die. Well, yeah, but it worked, dude. Please tell me the third lesson is me getting to fight you, because low-key, the thought of whooping you was the only thing keeping me sane in that hole. Well, I'm glad you asked, Ichigo, because the final lesson is actually seeing if you can knock my head off. If you can do that, then whoa! Ah, damn, dude, that's rude. Shut up, let's get this over with. So Kisuke pulls out his sword from his cane and him and Ichigo start fighting a little bit. Ichigo figures that even though Kisuke is faster and stronger than him, the sword he's using isn't his Zanpakuto, which is the sword that all Soul Reapers use. So since it's just a regular sword and Ichigo is a Soul Reaper right now, there shouldn't really be a way that Kisuke can actually hurt him at all. And while Ichigo is thinking that to himself, he hears Kisuke say, "Awaken Benihime," and Kisuke's sword transforms just like Renji's did when they fought. What the? Does that mean you're a Soul Reaper? You've been a Soul Reaper this whole time? I figured that was obvious. I mean, who the hell did you think I was? Kisuke and Ichigo keep trading blows with each other, but Ichigo still doesn't have his sword because of Byakuya cutting it in half earlier. But hearing Kisuke call for his sword, Ichigo remembers when he met Zangetsu, who appears in his mind and starts giving him even more riddles. Once Ichigo solves the last riddle, he shouts his sword's name and summons it. Kisuke hears a church choir full of black women start singing behind Ichigo, and that's when Ichigo sends an attack straight at Kisuke, knocking his hat off immediately. That last attack used up all of Ichigo's strength, and he passes out right there as Kisuke declares Lesson 3 cleared. 7 days of training later, the time to save Rukia has arrived, and Ichigo goes to leave his home. He walks outside his house, and that's when his dad jumps off the roof to stop him and give him a good luck charm that his mother gave him. This is something I haven't mentioned much in these videos, but Ichigo's dad is crazy, like an actual crazy person. I'm not sure even what the joke is supposed to be. He feels like he should be in an insane asylum. But Ichigo takes the charm from his father and walks off to Kisuke's place. And he finally arrives and sees that Kisuke was waiting for him. All right, Kisuke, you ready to go? What are you talking about? I'm not going anywhere. We gotta go save Rukia. What do you mean? Oh, I'm not going, dude. That's a you thing. I was just the training guy. You're serious? You can't be serious. There are hundreds of Soul Reapers in there. I've only been training for 10 days. Oh, stop your whining, Ichigo. No one said you were going alone. Who are you? What are you doing here? And Chad? Orihime? What is going on? Isn't it obvious? We're going with you. Who are you? Stop messing around. This isn't funny. Kisuke, be for real. You're really not coming? Hell no. There's a bunch of Soul Reapers in there. Are you crazy? Well, then, are you sending the little girl that has hands? Hell, I'll take the red-haired psychopath that bullies her all the time, too. Or even the sus giant over there. I don't care. Can we just send anyone other than just me to fight the ghost samurai demon-killing angel people? Oh, I'm sorry. Are we not enough for you, Ichigo? No, you're not. Like, no offense to everybody here, but I would rather not travel to another dimension with my childhood crush, my 35-year-old Mexican best friend who still hasn't graduated high school for some reason, Billy fucking Madison over here, and the guy that I keep having to save because he gets into fights that he can't finish. This is a sorry team. Don't worry, Ichigo, because I'm also going with you guys. Okay, well, you're a talking cat, so that doesn't make me feel better at all. Like it or not, Ichigo, we're all you've got. Kisuke, please don't do this. Sorry, dude, but if I go, who's gonna watch the shop? Nope, this looks like a job for the Soul Busters. That's you guys. That's what I'm calling you guys. Anyway, I'm gonna open the gate for the Soul Society now. Good luck. So Kisuke opens the way to the Soul Society, and Ichigo and his group prepare to begin the fight of their lives to get Rukia back before it's too late. And it is the beginning of peak Bleach shenanigans. That about does it for this video. I wanted to cover the entirety of the Soul Society, but the beginning of it, like the build-up, it just turned out to be funnier than I thought. What the hell is going on? But let me know what you guys thought of the video. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being interested, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one.